Hey guys, oh man, I got way too much hair. Sorry about that, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Really wanted to tell you, I can't remember now, but I'll get back to you about this later. Millman. Andrew. WKS Millman. You stole my question. My question. You stole it. You right crumpet bastard. But I really do want to answer it, so here's a response. You win this round, Millman. But I'm coming for you. I'm gonna break your skull open. If for some reason you're watching this and you haven't seen Andy's video, then why aren't you subscribed to Andy? He's so cool and he's so British, he knows all about tea and crumpets. He told me so. The idea behind this was basically to see what people think of their own work and not what they think of other people's work. The idea I did not have for this was to say what you feel other people could do to improve their videos. Although if one does say, please tell me what you think I can improve, then that's cool, but that's not really what my idea was. Anyway, what I think I can improve in my own videos would be sound quality above all else. You see, I'm using the microphone on this camera, and that means that sometimes my voice gets very quiet, and sometimes it gets extremely loud, and sometimes it sounds like I have my lips resting inside your ears. Whether or not that's cool with you, that's not what I'm trying to do. So I would like to find a way to see if there's some kind of mountable clip-on microphone I could use. I suppose I have an advantage in that I'm not on screen, so it doesn't really have to be stealthy or anything like that, but I would like to be able to up my sound quality like that. Also, I really want to find a better filming situation, because it's incredibly uncomfortable where I film. I really like my background. I don't really like white backgrounds, it's just personal taste. I like black ones more. And I've kind of grown attached to the texture of my desk. But I would like to somehow at least have a bigger space. Here, I'll give you a look at what I'm talking about. Basically, if you come with me, a little camera, that's where I do my shooting. I move the mouse pad out of the way, but this area is where I do the videos now. I used to do them over here, but now this keyboard is wired in and it's not as easy to move, so I just moved over here. I do have 3 lights, so I feel okay about my lighting. Kind of bluish one up here, and then I have a more yellowy black one here, and then the light that's on me right now is actually a bit of a whiter light. So the lighting I feel okay about, although I wish I could do better color balancing and white balancing. That always bothers me. I've recently been playing with the white balance on this camera, and it's very automatic, or like a little slider bar. So that's why my last couple of videos I didn't like very much, because they're very yellow. The upcoming videos I did are a little bluer. I actually kind of like the blue sheen, but that's just my personal taste. So I'm hoping I can find some kind of stable white balance, although the exposure on the camera too, I keep trying to turn it down. I'm sure a lot of people aren't looking back at the monitor behind everything, but I really get annoyed by that weird flickery effect from the bad exposure. So I'm trying to work on ways to fix that up too. I also wish my videos could be a little bit more tight. I know that a lot of them are not actually over 10 minutes, but I really like tight, punchy stuff. It's just my personal taste. So I'd like to be able to make my videos a bit tighter, although I still want to do longer ones for things that I feel deserve it. I've actually always really preferred condensing videos together, like if I'm reviewing a series of motion revived toys, little Kamen Riders. I don't really want to do a separate video for each one, because I feel that that's kind of stilted. I'd rather flow through all of them, but I did notice that even if the experience is identical, people seem to be a little more open-minded to single videos rather than a bunch of videos condensed together. Although, personally, I think if it's an 18-minute video about 6 toys and there's a little chapter listing and everything, it's identical to there being 6 3-minute videos. But me and Lafo know what I'm talking about, yeah! We're the 4K crew, we got all this, we got it tight like burger meat, baby. Also, I wish I was a little bit more open to reshooting. I do reshoot stuff now and then, but usually, even if I feel horrible about how filming went, I want to at least take a look at the footage, and usually I end up at least vaguely happy with what happened afterwards, and at least feeling that if I tried to reshoot it, it would just be stilted. But at the same time, when I shoot a lot of videos one after another, like the last couple, you can kind of tell which ones came at the end. Like the Gear of War set was the last thing in a line of filming where I filmed that, and the Deneb statue, and the Blur video. And the Gear of War one, you can hear me kind of droning on and on like this because I'm really tired and I've had these incredibly hot lights on my head and on my hands and on everything else for the last hour and a half. I don't know, I gotta just find a balance, really. I am pretty happy with my camera, because for some reason I had like 20 people ask me what camera I use over the course of about a week, so I use this camera. It's a Sony HDR SR10. It is expensive. I have it because I had built up credit card rewards, and thanks to that, I was able to get this for about $200, $300 during Boxing Day sales last year. I also would really like to upgrade to Final Cut Pro, because I'm sure that by now you've all noticed my favorite special effect, which is this one, and it's getting a little tired because everything is done with this one. This is really the only cool special effect, I think, in iMovie HD. iMovie 09, I really hate editing in. I think it's really lousy software, and I'm hoping to move up to Final Cut Express in the next month or two, which hopefully will lead to an end of this. I'd also like to upgrade my MacBook, because I've had this thing working for me this whole time, and it's been with me since like 07. And I'm really sure it's going to explode very soon. The optical thingamadoo drive, the one that reads CDs and stuff, because I'm such a techie, it's already gone. This thing actually cannot take CDs back into its body anymore, for whatever reason. So I'm very worried, because when that thing goes, I'll have no way of editing videos or podcasts. And the best new MacBook I've seen that's not super pricey, that would do everything I needed to, is about $2,200, which is something I don't have right now, even with all my vast YouTube riches. Also, I'd like to be able to make my videos a bit more accessible to people. I wish that I had some kind of get to know how these videos work kind of deal, because basically this boils down to I'm never really 100% sure where to balance the subtitles in. I know there are people who really like the subtitles, and I know there are people who really don't like the subtitles, and I try to find a balance in between. And please don't respond saying don't listen to the people who don't like it, because I don't really think that's a very constructive response. Whenever I edit the subtitles in, I kind of just go by how I'm feeling when I decide to do it, because I kind of have to get in character for that kind of thing. And usually it just kind of depends how my whims are feeling, how I felt about the filming, how I feel about how the final product looks. So I'd really like to get a better hang, I think, of how much subtitles to put into something. Also, I wish I could write some better notes before I start. I never really did that. I'm very improv-y. But I do try to write down sometimes at least a basis of what I'd like the video to move along, as far as a railroad track of where it goes, because I don't want to go off on too many tangents, and I don't want it to just drag out. Like the Gear of War one, I cut out a lot of really long segments that were really pointless, where I was kind of going like, hey, did you know that this is the way to turn the cassette tape wheels back for Scouter mode, or one of 15 times that I reiterated that the chrome was really thick. So overall, just less wasted footage. Also, I wish I said less. I do actually cut out a lot of and stutters and whatnot in the videos, especially because if I'm not on screen, and especially if I'm not on screen and my hands aren't on screen, nothing's moving, so I can just edit the video's audio, and there's usually only minor picture jumps. Sometimes there are humongous picture jumps because I say something I'm kind of tired of and I just cut it out. And it seems that the jump cut style of editing is kind of popular right now, and hopefully will not be something that becomes despised later on, because I rather like it, and it makes the process a little bit more open-ended for me. I wish I could put out more of these faster, because I'm very unreliable as far as doing things regularly. I'm very surprised I've managed to do a weekly podcast for over a year. So I do have long periods where I just don't feel like filming, or I film stuff and I have a long period where I just don't feel like editing. Really it is, I can assure you it's for the better, because if I don't feel like editing and I try just editing anyway, it comes out really crap or really boring. So I'm trying to maintain my moderate level of pseudo quality. Really overall, I just like to tighten up everything I do, get some better sound, and further enhance the picture quality as best I can on a consumer camera. There's still lots that, even though the HD is pretty and all that, there's lots that kind of bugs me that I wish I could deal with. And it is a lot easier to deal with when reviewing small things on a desk, because lighting for that is a lot easier than if I was constantly trying to really perfectly light myself or like 10 other people. So I'm thankful that I'm covering a lot of subject matter that's really easy to light and background up and stuff like that. but I'm still trying to put a little bit more polish on where I can. I also wish I could actually do some videos that aren't about toys. I want to review other things, but I'm not sure what or how. A format that I'd be comfortable with is kind of hard to think of right now. I'd also like to just do some videos that aren't reviews at all. Really, I just want to open up my horizons a little bit, and I'd like to be able to deliver stuff that's still entertaining to at least a couple people. But I have long since learned that trying to please absolutely everybody is rather futile, and I'm sure that a lot of people appreciate that. Really, I'm just thankful that people are looking at the videos, and I hope that the continued attempts to up the various little bits of quality help. Overall, I rather tentatively admit I'm kind of happy with the structure my videos take. I am kind of comfortable with it, and it feels like it works for at least 5 or 6 people, and that's kind of what I was aiming for. So, structurally, I think my videos aren't really going to change much. I might just try to tighten up things, as I've said many times. Just try to pull the fat together here and there and try to make them a little bit less rambly, although I still want to keep a little bit of ramble because this is kind of going by just lots of comments I've received, you know, all 20 of them I've received over the last year or so, that there are people who like subtitles, who don't like subtitles, who think there are too few subtitles, who think there are too many subtitles, who think I ramble too much, who think I don't ramble enough, who wish I'd cover more Transformers, who wish I'd cover more non-Transformers. So I want to say I appreciate any kind of comments on the videos. I try to take as many of them to heart as I can, even really, really uber-negative ones, because I feel that it's incredibly important for someone who creates media of any kind, that being video, music, even customized toys, should be able to build up a kind of resistance to harsh negative criticism that is in proportion to how much they want their videos to be seen. I think that being able to take negative criticisms either to heart or to be able to have a laugh at yourself or at the criticism, depending how it's written, is incredibly important, and to focus on only 1 or 2 negative criticisms, I think, is an incredible folly. Really, if you have 100 people saying they like a video, I think that you should pat yourself on the back because, yes, that's crumbs on the internet, but if you think about it, that's 100 folks, if you put them all in a room, who said, hey, that was a cool video. So that always kind of gets me going. And if I get a really nasty comment, I try to see if there was something in there that can be helpful, and often there is. Or at least something I can take to heart, so that I'm aware of it. Even if I'm not solving something that one perceives as a problem, I think it's important to at least recognize that someone has perceived it as a problem, even if perhaps it's just to have a laugh about it. I'm a big believer in laughing at serious situations, or what some would like to perceive as serious situations. So please always feel free to comment on stuff, or if you want, you can just send me messages or PMs or whatnot if you don't want to comment on a video. And if you'd like to comment on what you think I can do to improve my videos, feel free. I'm just gonna clear up that I may not agree, but that doesn't mean I think you're dumb. It just means that on a media making level we have disagreed about a factor of creating media, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, we should embrace it, and we should make out later on. Exchange phone numbers for the sake of discussing further media. I'll give you some of my facial hair. It comes off really easily. Anyway, this is really rambly, so I'm going to cut it off now. I hope this has been helpful to someone out there who wanted to know something related to something I just said. Thanks, Andy, for posting the question, even though you stole it from me. Thanks, you bastard. And if something I've said here has really offended your sensibilities, or you think I'm a raving idiot, please post in the comments section. But if you like the video a lot, then I guess you can post a comment too. But try to post it really angrily, because I'm feeling aggro tonight, you know. I was in a fire, you know. I came back from the dead. I was a ghost. Have you ever walked through fire? Good night.